Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasantaye Yasyat Viradavakradhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Pato Vatsatsuti Bhokta Dugdham Geeta Mrutam Mahate. With Bhagavan's grace, we had come up to Slokam number 20. Now, the fact that the pathways are infinite, it's given in Vedam Upanishads and all that. If you look at Slokam 20 or 19 or whichever Slokam you take at random, then you'll find there is a pathway to Bhagavan given there. Yoga is given there, that we can easily take. For example, if you take 20, we covered Tyatva Karma Palasangam Nityatriptaha Nirasrayaha Karmani Abhipravrittopi Na Eva Kinchit Karoti Saha. So if you take Nityatriptaha, that itself could be a yoga for us on a practical basis, to be contented, to be satisfied, and to be happy, the happiness coming out of contentment. We can follow that as one yoga, Nirasraya yoga, desiring nothing other than Bhagavan's lotus feet. Every minute, every waking minute, we can practice that discipline. That itself becomes a yoga. And Karma Pala Sangam Tyaktva, we can, whatever action we do, even if it ends in humiliation or success, praise, it really doesn't matter. We can train ourselves, I'm going to practice that, and then that becomes in a Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya, right? So like that, there are literally infinite pathways. In the Upanishad it says, Tasmin Sahasrasake. It has got infinite branches when it talks about Bhagavan. So please keep that in mind, and let us move on to 21. Sans desire, without desire, controlling his senses, mind and intelligence by embracing the indweller and not wanting to possess anything at all, he undertakes only the minimum essential actions for the upkeep of his body. He incurs no adversity. Nirasir yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanne na apnoti kilbisham. Nirasir yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanne na apnoti kilbisham. The Padangal words are Nirasihi yata chittatma Tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanne na apnoti kilbisham. Nirasihi, nirasrayaha. We saw in the previous, Bhagavan continues, talking about this panditaha that he talks about, right? They describes further and further in different ways. So each one we can grab, and whatever appeals to us individually, we can grab that and then never let go. Just hold on to it and practice that. So nirasihi, without desires. Now, without desire is very difficult, right? It looks like an impossibility. So understand it as nirasihi means not without desires, but desiring only the indweller, desiring only to embrace the indweller, desiring to be selfless, desiring to share the love that you are. Whatever way you want to convert that desire into a positive one. Okay, then it becomes nirasihi. Yata chittatma. Yata chittatma means one who has controlled the senses, Control the senses, very important. Sankhya Yoga, Bhagavan advises, right? A very important teaching from him. Control the senses, sense control, then mind control, controlling the mind, and then controlling the buddhi. So all the three, how do you control? Only when we embrace the indweller, only when turn inwards to the God, to the Lord seated in our heart, then only all these things will automatically take place. You don't have to do anything else. Ekta sarva parigraha, sarva all, right? And parigraha. See, there is a Bhagavan in Bhakti Yoga, in Adhyayam 12, Bhagavan will talk about aparigraha, very important. Parigraha means, all the things that we acquire, all the acquisitive desires, various things that we acquire, whether it is materialistic things or whether it is fame or reputation or whatever, that we acquire. But all the things, sarva parigraha, tyakta, to giving up. Again, giving up can take place only when the mind turns towards Bhagavan. Shariram kevalam karma kurvanne. Shariram kevalam karma. Only to protect the upkeep of the body. The actions required to keep the upkeep of the body. Because body is an instrument and to be given for a divine purpose. So it's like a machine. We must keep it active and alive and healthy. Kurvanne. All the shariram kevalam karma kurvanne. All the actions that are necessary for the upkeep of the body, doing those actions. Kilbisham, no adversity or danger or adverse happenings or sins, whichever way you want to call it. Kilbisham na apnoti, does not obtain. So nirasihi yata chittatma sarva parigraha tyakta shariram kevalam karma kurvan. So these are the four things Bhagavan talks about to be freed from all adversities. We talk of subhamastu, that this is what subham is. That this, when one develops these four attitudes and approach to work, to living, then the life becomes full of subham. Na kilbisham na apnoti. Nirasir yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanne na apnoti kilbisham. The Bhagavan continues again. And how is this awareness, approach, attitude possible? What does it look like? All the definitions are coming one by one. Next one, 422, transcending the differences of the opposites, happiness, sorrow, pleasure, pain, cold, heat, etc. When you look at this intellectually, immediately it looks an impossibility, right? So not worry about it. Remember, all the attributes that Bhagavan is talking about is not something you acquire by going after them. They result as a result. They happen as a result of something else that you do, and that something else is when Bhagavan said earlier, "Ma manusmaran," think of me, right? When you think of Bhagavan and want to desire to embrace him, want to touch him, and want to talk to him and look at him, and keep your mind turned towards him, all these other things that he talks about automatically happen as a result of that single activity. So here he says, transcending the difference of the opposites, he is happy with whatever rewards come his way. He is without envy. He realizes that both fulfillment and non-fulfillment are the same. He is not bound by action, even though he may be doing it. Again, he repeats, he is not bound by action, even though he may be doing it, because actions have left him. We saw that earlier, right? So, yadricha labha santushtaha dvandvatitaha vibhatsaraha samaha siddhava siddhau cha kritvapi na nibadhyate. Yadricha labha santushto dvandvatito vimatsaraha samas siddhava siddhau cha kritvapi na nibadhyate. Yadricha labha santushtaha. Okay. Yat tricha labha santushtaha. 4 words are there. Yat, in whatever form, tricha, you obtain, labham, which whatever the benefits, what we call as rewards, whatever else we say is labham. Whatever way they happen, whatever happens, okay, by themselves, okay, santushtaha. Santushta is a very important word. And contented. Because you are contented, therefore you are peaceful and happy. That happiness comes out of that peaceful state of mind. So that one, yadricha labha santushtaha. Next one is dvandva itaha. One who is unaware, one who is indifferent, one who is does not recognize the difference. I'll put it the other way, positively, one who looks at the opposite happenings like cold, heat, happiness, sadness, success, failure, all these things they're the same to him, like two sides of the same coin. So he looks at the whole coin, in other words, right? Dvandva bhitaha, vimatsaraha, one who does not have jealousy. Then the fourth one is siddhava siddhau. Siddhau, asiddhau. Siddha means fulfillment. Asiddha means not fulfillment, short of fulfillment, right? You call it success, failure, whatever way you want to call it, right? It does not matter. Samaha. They are the one and the same. It is not like they are equal. As we discussed earlier, Samaha does not mean equal. They are one and the same, both sides of the same coin. He's got this kind of approach and attitude and mental awareness. When for him, krutva api, even though he is doing actions, because actions are there. As soon as you have a body, body has to do actions. But the actions take place by themselves. That is the truth. And he realizes the truth. Because actions, even though he is doing actions, those actions na nibatyade, do not bind him. Yadricha labha santushto dvandvatito vimatsaraha samat siddhava siddhau cha kratvapi na nibadhyate. Slokam number 23. His action is done without attachment to the action or its results. Focusing on attaining freedom from the birth-death cycle, he mentally embraces the indweller. His action is done as selfless sacrifice and simply dissolves in itself. For us, all the actions that we do not dissolve. They continue. Once we finish something, because of the way we are doing it, next action takes place. This is called bondage, right? And for him, the action just dissolves. Gata sankasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajnaya sharataha karma samagram praviliyate. Gata sankasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajnayacharataha karma samagram praviliyate. Gata sankasya muktasya jnana avasthita chetasaha yajnaya acharataha karma samagram praviliyate. Those are the words and padangal. Gata sankasya, without attachment, right? As we said in Tamil, pattum padadadama. That's the way we must lead our life. And the classic example that is given is like a lotus leaf, how the lotus comes up from the water, right? You put a drop of water on lotus leaf, it doesn't really attach itself to it, right? So life is like that. Pattum padadadama, gata sankasya, without getting mired into things, right? Muktasya, as we discussed earlier, Paul, by now I think most of these words should become, at least some of these words should become very familiar to you. Mukta means one who requires mukti. And what is mukti? We discussed that. Basically, embracing the indweller, becoming one with the selfless love. That means removing the feeling of separation from the unconditional love that we really are. Okay, muktasya, one who is committed to persevering the efforts and practice in this effort. Jnana avasthita chetasaha. Chetasam, chittam, right? You are not only a thought process, that is only one part of it, that is chintanai. Then there is a sense of awareness, a consciousness. We are aware in one plane, so to speak, right? Thinking that I'm just body, I'm just mind, but still I know I'm beyond that, right? So we talk of the awareness and the mind, oneness with Bhagavan, that kind of thing is Chetataha. That is Jnana avasthita. Avasthita means, in Tamil we say, avastha paranjatu. Basically, that is not, avastha means not difficult. It's not a difficult thing. Avastha means all the activities that we do are really avastha only. In Sanskritam, when you look at it, that's why it's called, Jagrata avastha, Swapna avastha. Those are the words that Sanskrit uses, right? And Jagra avastha means that the waking stays all the awareness and the activities that we do. And Swapna avastha means what the activities and the actions that we do while in the dream state, like that. So here, Jnana avasthita means he is involved and embedded and completely one with the Jnana. And what is the Jnana? Jnana is nothing but the mind turned towards the indweller, right? And with that chetasaha, right? Gatasankasya, muktasya, jnana avasthita chetasaha. Next one, yajnaya acharataha. Very important. The acharataha means moving about, right? All the things that we do, the dynamic nature of things that is happening, right? And charati means to go, and the acharataha means, associated with that, there's a movement, right? That's what we're talking of. So what is that thing? Yajna. Now, as my sister asked me the other day in an email, yajna, unfortunately in English we translate it as sacrifice. Actually, it is much more than that. All the actions that are done, not necessarily with the thought of sacrifice. Initially, we may say, I sacrifice and all that, but really, all the actions, thoughts, words, and actions done when mind focused on Bhagavan, that becomes a yajna. Automatically becomes yajna. Because the mind is thinking of Bhagavan, automatically you say, I am doing this for you, I am doing this to you, on your behalf I am doing this to you, I offer this to you. Or whatever way you think about it, that becomes yajna, because it's like a firefly moving very fast to the fire. Automatically the thoughts go to the Lord and the actions take place by themselves. It becomes yajna. Okay? So yajnaya acharataha. One who is like that, what happens? Samagram, that all his action, okay, like some karma, his actions, are all done on for yajnaya acharataha karma. His actions are doing on the basis of yajna. Doing that, then samagram praviliyate. Because it is doing like that, all the actions actually become one. They kind of dissolve, praviliyate. They are not existent anymore. They just happen, but they are really not there. But he's just doing them. Okay. So it's a beautiful description of a sense of awareness that Bhagavan describes in all these slokams. And we should not get frazzled or flabbergasted or afraid of these. They all come an automatic result of holding on to the lotus feet, the mind thinking about the favorite form of God and continuously thinking about Him, doing smarana on that. All these things will automatically come. Okay? So beautiful thing he's describing. Gata sankasya muktasya jnanavasthita chetasaha yajnaya charatah karma samagram praviliyate. Next one, some of you may have heard this slokam or may even be saying this. And this talks about in slokam 24. So when you do see yajnaya acharatah karma, what does it really mean? Okay, Bhagavan describes so beautifully. Next one, the action of yajna, the action of sacrifice, the action of offering, whatever we say, the action itself is Brahman. What is sacrificed is Brahman. Brahman is a sacrificial fire to which these offerings are made. The offerings made into the fire are Brahman. He who attunes to the oneness of action and Brahman attains Brahman himself. Okay, that is the next slokam. Very beautiful slokam. Each one of these mantrangas are really exalted. Brahmarpanam, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmana Ahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Kandavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. That's it. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahma Agnau, Brahmana Ahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gandavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Padangal are very clear, very easy. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahma Agnau, Agni, Brahmana Ahutam, Brahmaiva Tena, okay, Brahma Eva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Brahma Arpanam, whatever you are, all the actions we are doing are really Arpanam only. Okay, we are doing this in spite of ourselves, despite ourselves, as we discussed earlier, as we saw earlier. The natural impulses impel us, push and pull and compel us to do the actions, right? That we all do. So why is that taking place? That itself is a yajnam, as an arpanam to Brahma. To Brahma, the meaning of Brahma is not just creator, and even though that is one aspect of the Brahman. Brahman means most expansive, etymologically speaking, right? So what is most expansive? That is what is Purnam, that is what's described in another way in the Vedam. Purnam, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, right? Like that. So what is it that is so expansive, everywhere present? And that is this unconditional love, prema, as the Upanishad calls it, right? So that Brahma, Arpanam, all the actions are Brahman only. Then the attitude, when you do Havihi, when you do Havis in the fire, the mental attitude with which we offer something, right? That is the Havis, that is the Havihi. The attitude of offering, the sacrifice that is being made, right? That is also Brahman. And the fire into which the offering is made is also Brahman, Brahmagnau. Okay? Then the offerings that are made, whether you do your worship, after that you do your payasam and offer to Bhagavan, or give a flower, or whatever it is that you offer. Whatever you offer with love, Bhagavan accepts it, and that slokam comes later, and patram palam toyam pushpam, like that it comes beautifully. So, but the important thing is the attitude with which we offer. So, whatever is offered, that is Brahmana Ahutam. Whatever is put into the Ahuti, Purna Ahuti, we say, we immediately collect all the jewels and 9 gems and all that. Those are all not important. What is important is the heart, the mental attitude. That is also Brahman. So, Brahman is the one doing the action. Brahman is the one who is also doing the sacrifice. Brahman is the one to whom sacrifice is being made. And all the offerings made are also Brahman. That's the meaning of that first line. A very important line. Then, if this is what it is, if Bhagavan himself is teaching this, then next question is, Brahma Karma Samadhina. So, I see Samadhi, both one and the same. So, Brahma and Karma, Brahman and Karma, action and Bhagavan are one and the same. Work is worship, right? So, moment I turn my mind that way and look at all the actions that is being done by this body and mind and speech, okay, and look at it, oh, this is God, this is Brahma, this is Brahma. I do that yoga, okay, this is another yoga, okay, then what happens very soon, one becomes aware, truly aware, and knows firsthand. These are all first-hand experiences. One becomes truly knowledgeable and knows for certainty, gets a glimpse of the truth that Brahman and action are one and the same. Brahma karma samadhina. Now, when he becomes aware like that, how does he become aware? Because Brahmarpanam, Brahmavihi, Brahmagna, Brahmanahutam, all the things that you do, you follow that. Yes, so Brahma and karma, when you follow it that way, automatically it leads to the awareness, or at least a taste of the awareness, that Brahma karma samadhina. Then what happens? So one who becomes aware like that, Brahma eva tena, that person, gantavyam, he attains. What? Brahma eva. He becomes Brahman himself. You merge. That is your mukti. Okay? One pathway through action is given right here. Okay? Brahmarpanam brahmavihi brahmagnau brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. And some people also offer this as just before partaking your meal. Okay? And you can recite this slokam before even drinking water, for example. Okay, even if you're thirsty, before you drink water, say Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmavatena Gandhavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Say that. And then Bhagavan, when you do that, Bhagavan responds. Okay, Aham Vaisvanaro Bhutva. That comes later. Okay, so this is a beautiful experience that I learned from my guru. And so, Bhagavan's grace, if with his grace, if the impulsion is like that, then you can also follow that. So, let us do one more, and then we'll conclude for today. Slokam number 25. Very good. Now, what do we do in our daily lives? Bhagavan is talking about this now in the next few slokams. Some spiritually disciplined persons lovingly offer sacrifice to devas, to Ganapati, or to Indra, or to Agni, or to Vayu, or Rahu, Ketu, whoever it is, we lovingly offer sacrifices to them. Some others consider sacrifices to be Brahman itself, as Bhagavan just talked about, and experience that it is Brahman making the offerings that are Brahman into the sacrificial fire that is Brahman. Okay, we just covered that. That comes in the next slokam. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginaha paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yajne naivopa juhvati. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginaha paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yajne naivopa juhvati. The words are Daivam eva apare yajnam yoginaha pari upasate brahmagnau apare yajnam yajnena eva Upajukvati. Okay. And anytime you see the words Upa and all that, takes you closer to Bhagavan. That Upanishad like that, right? Okay. So the meaning now quickly. Daivam eva apare yajnam yoginaha. Okay. Apare yoginaha. Apare means other, right? Apare yoginaha. Yoginaha, one who is involved in the path of yoga, or one who has achieved the goal of yoga also. But let us consider, for us to learn, and at least for me to learn, in taking it as one who is practicing, right? As opposed to the final attainment. So, apare yoginaha, the other yogigal. Daivam means to devatas, things that attributable, that belonging to devas. Yajnam eva, they do the yajnas, sacrifices for the devas. Okay, that is the meaning of that. Pari upasate. They do that very lovingly. All the offerings we make to the devas, pari upasate, very lovingly we offer them, right? And then say apare, others, yet others, okay. Brahmagno, as we saw earlier, Brahmagno, Brahmanautam, Brahmagno, they take that word, they, oh my God, the fire of into which sacrifices is being made itself is Brahman. So they take that as Brahma himself, and Yajnam, all the offerings and the actions that they do into that fire is also Brahman. Okay? And they take it like that. And Yajnana Yeva, they take it as Brahman itself. And Upachukvati, they do this continuous homam, continuous yajnam, which is what life is all about. Sarvahut is the name of the yajnam that is given in Purusha Suktam. That is what yajnam is taking place. So some people do it for devas, and some people consider the actions that they do as itself as Brahman, and the offerings that they do as Brahman itself, and to whom that you are offering, that is also Brahman. With that mental attitude, they carry out their actions. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. I think the time is up today, so let us close. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti.